So I had this little epiphany, and I'm going to do a quick training before I do my shares um, of how to discover your purpose. Because discovering your purpose is something that feels too big and overwhelming. And how do I do this? So, Joan of Arc is one of my heroes. She helps me to feel and see what it means to live my purpose. And while I was going through my deep, dark depression time, I had a visualization. I wouldn't say it's a vision, but a visualization of what it might have been like to be by her side when she was in one of the particular battles that I studied, the Battle of Terrell. And I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but that's where she got shot with the arrow when she was climbing up the ladder, if you know her story or not. Um, but what I remember from that visualization is that she was sitting by the tree after she got shot by the arrow. And this is in the back of my book. I don't know if I ever mentioned that I wrote a book, but this is in this book. And in the back of it, there's Joan's journal. So if there is a PDF, and I can send you guys that to read. But anyway, so I remember that she was sitting by the tree. She had just been injured and she's trying to figure out what she's going to do next. And she starts to get this motivating fire bubbling up in her. And she's like, I'm not giving up. I am not giving up. So she pulls the arrow out of her shoulder. She crawls like army crawls with her arms over to the wall. And she stabs the arrow into the wall and starts pulling herself up. And then she makes herself stand up, and the arrow is what tried to kill her, right? And how this applies and what this meant to me at the time was that there's things that happen to us that shoot into our body that hurt us. And they feel like it's death. It feels like it's going to kill us because it hurts so bad. Whether that means that someone rejected you, you're going through a divorce, there's different hard things that happen in life. And there is a way that you can take that arrow out of your body to turn it over into what is actually going to help you to climb higher, help you to become who you are born to be. So from Joan and from my experience with her in the past 10, 15 years of visualizing with her, I imagine her as my sister. I often see her in my teacup formula. She is my vision of tenacity and strength and vision and faith. So the three things that I have learned about living your purpose is number one. Now let's see if I can remember these. I don't have them written down. Number one, lining yourself in divine alignment. So figuring out that divine alignment of who you are. So really just getting that identity inside of you and filling yourself up like a pressurized pop can. And no matter what pushes on the outside of that can, the pressurization on the inside is going to help keep the doubts and the darkness outside. So anytime you feel like that can is starting to cave, going back to your square number one, who am I? And that's why in the 6-week challenge, we focus on that I am statement. And I hope you guys are using that anytime you feel that doubt, that I am. And I don't need to review what mine is, but I hope you guys remember what yours is. So number one is that divine alignment, figuring out who you are vertically and knowing your relationship in connection to your higher power. I really don't believe that there's any way that you can truly know who you are if it's not connected with the origin of where you came from. And regardless of what you call that higher power, you need to know who you are in relationship to that higher power and get that connection with that higher power so that you can feel that love and acceptance from him. So that's number one step of knowing your purpose. Number two, oh my goodness, I should have written these down. I probably have them written down somewhere. Number two is commitment. And that was Charlene's story from today. Commitment is the thing that Joan, like she's sitting there by the tree. She just got shot by the arrow. feeling that commitment to bubble up inside of her, like, I am going to do this, because she knows inside who she is. She knows that she has a higher purpose. There's a reason why she's here, and she's so committed to doing that thing and determined and like, oh my gosh, no matter what, I'm going to do this. So that fire of commitment, feeling that, and wherever that comes from for you, I think it comes from knowing why you are unique, knowing what your gifts are, and how you can do something that no one else can do. I believe we're each unique in the orchestra of God. If we each have a unique instrument that we play, in the purpose that we have, in the way that we use our voice, in the way that we move through the world, each of us are unique. And in that whole orchestra, you are unique in your purpose and what your gifts are and what you are born to give to the world. There's a contribution, a gift, something that you can do, I believe, that no one else can do. So number 2 is feeling that commitment and knowing what that is. And number 3 is asking. Simply in that alignment with your higher power, committing to your higher power, even if you know nothing about who you are, even if you know nothing about your unique gifts or why you're here, or what you're supposed to do. Commit. Okay, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I have no idea why you want me to be here, why this and why this, all of the questions that go through our mind as we're trying to discover our purpose, but committing. I promise I will take action no matter what the answer is. I promise, because you know and you trust him, right? You know that he's going to lead you to discovering what your purpose is so that you can become who you were born to be. He has you. He knows why you're here. He knows everything. He knows what you struggle with. He knows it all. And you turn that over to him and you say, okay, I promise, no matter what answer you give me, I'm going to do it. And he's not going to give you something more that you can't handle right now. He's going to give you baby steps, and it's probably going to be baby steps in the direction of uncomfortable. That's what I've noticed in my path. Because in order to become that best self, that highest self that we're born to be, we get to go through incremental stages of becoming more uncomfortable so that we can grow into that full, amazing us. So after that commitment, number 3 is to ask. And asking, okay, whatever question it is that's on your mind, like, what are my gifts? If you know nothing about who you are or why you're here, start with understanding your unique abilities. What are my gifts? What am I good at? Because most of us focus on what's wrong with me. But if we switch that focus into what is amazing about me? What am I good at? What do I want? So all of this that we've been working on through the program is discovering that desire inside of us, and then figuring out what is that uniqueness about me that I can bring to the earth, that I can contribute to the world. So ask the one thing that's in your heart. And I have discovered that the next question that is in my heart is the one thing that helps me to add one piece to the puzzle. And it's just one puzzle piece at a time. It's not going to be something you need to eat this whole elephant all at once. You don't have to climb the whole mountain in a day, but it's just one puzzle piece at a time, asking that one next question and taking that one next step. So that's why we have our 3 key focuses every week. What is your one next inspired action step? And this is all for the purpose of you discovering how to be you, how to become your highest self, how to live your purpose. So thank you for letting me share. That was on my mind, and I'm glad to get it off of my heart.